Let me ask you, who do you like later in the rounds? Who do you think the Browns might be targeting after 10 that seems to make sense for them and might fit with what they are looking for?
Well, they're certainly going to address safety. I think Antoine Winfield, the kid, junior, the kid from Minnesota, is a fascinating prospect. There's Jeremy Chin, who's another small school prospect safety that's fascinating. Kyle Duggar's another small school safety that's really interesting player. Their value is safety. They could even look at Ashton Davis, the California safety, or Xavier McKinney, the Alabama safety there in the second round. I think there are plenty of options to get a value safety. And I think they'll look there. I think they'll look at linebackers like Malik Harrison from Ohio State will be a guy. Logan Wilson, a guy from Wyoming who's graded really well over the past few years. Willie Gay from Mississippi State are value linebackers in the middle that they can pick. Kenneth Murray is another kid from Oklahoma who, if he falls to the first part of the second round, the Browns could be very interested in. Something worth paying attention to. Then, they'll look at slot corners like Amik Robinson from Louisiana Tech. They could look at adding a wide receiver. I think they'd be smart to add a wide receiver at some point because Jarvis and Odell have contracts that expire before too long, and you just like to have a plan. You don't want to rush wide receiver development. It'd be great for them to bring somebody in, maybe a Tyler Johnson from Minnesota who can be a big physical guy who can play big slot when they go three receivers when they find the time to do that. So they're going to have to address safety. They're going to have to address interior defensive line. There are a ton of interior defensive linemen. Javon Kinlaw is interesting. Neville Gallimore from Oklahoma. Defensive tackle is a position that, they got Sheldon Richardson's contract's going to expire at the end of – it's 2 years left, but really it's just 1 year because of the value of that third year, and they can get out of that. And then, you're looking at two prove-it deals. Larry Ogunjobi's in the last year of his rookie deal, and then Andrew Billings. And then you don't know. You might be completely reshaping that defensive line. So I do think the interior of the defensive line is going to be fascinating to see what they do. Expect them to take one in there. But like I said, a slot corner, something like that, they'll be interested in a safety. They got to attack. They got to attack an offensive tackle, maybe even a second one in this draft, and they will certainly go after a linebacker or two. So the good thing is it's not a ton of right now needs, but they do want to get players that make an impact in this draft.